Hey, what's going on, guys? Kieran from Fingers Crossed, and today I've got quite a cool deck, quite a nostalgic deck. Dark Magician is actually my first nostalgic deck, that then being between Dark Magician, Red Eyes and Blue Eyes, so pretty excited for that. I do have a Blue Eyes deck coming out, probably be next week. I'm still testing and trying out a few things to just decide which one I prefer the most. Obviously there's quite a few ways to play most of these decks, but you just got to choose the one that you prefer the most. This is the way that I prefer this deck the most, yeah, let's get into it. Please though, just before we do, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. We're up and down all the time, up to 200, down and then back up, and subscribers. So if we can keep trying to get on the rise, then that'd be fantastic. But yeah, let's get into it, guys. Okay. So of course it's a Dark Magician deck, so you start off with 3 Dark Magician, obviously. You just choose the artworks that you like. I actually prefer this artwork the most. I think this one's the nicest one. I think this one's the cool. I really like the movie pack stuff, even like the Red Eyes one, the Blue Eyes one, sorry. I think they're really cool. This artwork's pretty cool as well, but yeah, so I really like these ones. Just choose the artworks you like, and yeah, it's obviously Dark Magician, you use it a lot, so 3 of is a must. Then of course, moving on, you can't play Dark Magician without his lady. You gotta have his lady in there. She gains 300 attack for every Dark Magician or Magician of Black Chaos. We don't play Magician of Black Chaos in this deck, so it will just be Dark Magician. But you need her for some fusion plays if you can. Then moving on, I'm gonna play the 1 Magician's Rod. Obviously when this is normal summoned, you can add any spell or trap from your deck to your hand that specifically lists Dark Magician in its text, and obviously it does have, if you activate a spell or trap while it's in the graveyard, you contribute 1 spellcasting module and it's back to your hand, so it's like returning. So that's why I only play it as the 1-off. I do have a different normal summon in this deck that I would play, so yeah, or 2 other normal summons technically. And of course I played the 2 Apprentice Illusion Magician. She's just a free summon, so that's why I play her. She's just a free summon, gets you another body on board, so you can have this and your normal summon, so you can potentially go for Link 2s, or and she's another spellcaster that you can use for fusion plays, which is pretty good. And of course she can, once she's normal special summoned, you can add 1 Dark Magician from your deck to your hand, which also can help sometimes. So yeah, when she's in the graveyard also, you can send this card, when it's in your hand, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to, it's kind of like an honest, so that's kind of good as well, but realistically it's just a free summon that you're using it for. I do play the Magician of Dark Illusion. I'm thinking about taking it out, I'm not too sure. It's alright, during your opponent's turn, if you activate a spell or trap card, you can special summon this card from your hand. So again, it's another special summon setting up for the following turn. And then also if you activate another card whilst he's on the field, then you can target 1 Dark Magician in your graveyard and special summon it. So again, it just assists you in your following turn, which it can help you OTK on your following turn. So, or go into more fusion plays or link plays, whichever you prefer. Played 3 Secrets of Dark Magic. So this is really good, and I like that they're quick plays, so you can use it on your opponent's turn, which most of the Dark Magician cards are meant for that. So yeah, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using materials from your hand or field, including Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. So that's why Dark Magician Girl is good in this deck also, so that you can have it in your plan, you can use Dark Magician as fusion also. Or you can ritual summon, but we don't play ritual in this, so it's just basically for the fusion. So 3 of those. We do have quite a few fusion cards in this. I've separated this obviously quite weird into sections. I'm not doing monsters, spells, traps, I'm doing it different. So for the rest of it, so this will be like the Dark Magician section. So now we play the 3 Dark Magical Circle. So Dark Magical Circle just help you look for the card that you want, put it on the top of your deck. You can add one obviously, and then you can rearrange the last two to make sure that you get what you want. Yeah, so I like this card. I think it's good, pretty good. And obviously, if a Dark Magician is no more special summoned to a deck, you can target one card your opponent controls and banish it. So that's good. It is targeting, so it doesn't have Dragoon, but banishing is like banishing some problematic cards, something like that. Or if you're playing Elderlid, you can get rid of one of their traps and stuff like that, as it's not just monsters, it's anything. So this is also pretty good for those. Help you look for the cards that you need. Then 2 Soul Servant. Soul Servant is just to help you draw cards. Realistically, you're gonna be having a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician girl on the field, so this is just to help you draw cards. Now this is probably gonna be, so I do play one Dark Magician Navigation. So you can special summon one Dark Magician from your hand, then special summon one level 7 or lower spellcaster monster from your deck. So obviously that will be on your opponent's turn. You can do it on your turn if you want to save it till then. But obviously, again, it just helps you with your following turn to set up fusions or different plays, which obviously really helps. If you control a Dark Magician, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish it from your graveyard, then target one face-up spell trap your opponent controls and negate its effects. So, I can't really think of a spell trap. I think Elderland maybe, but they send to that normally. You won't really use the second effect, but the first effect is really good. Obviously, I guess Mystic Mine it can help against. But yeah, you just want to special summon, and then it's 2 special summons, so that's pretty good. Then this is going to be controversial. A lot of people will probably disagree with what I'm about to say, but I only play 1 Eternal Souls. I just don't like the card really. Like, I understand that it's good, it protects things, like every Dark Magician in your monster zone is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Like, I understand that is good, like it's protection, but if this card leaves the field, destroy all monsters you controlled. Not just the Dark Magician, all monsters. And I just don't like that. That is not for me. Like, yeah, it's just, I just don't like that personally. I just don't think that's a good one. So I've put it in there just for the 1. But other than that, like, it does special summon another Dark Magician, and that's why I've put it in there. But I don't like that it will destroy all my monsters if someone gets rid of it. So unless you have protection for it, so e.g. with Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight can protect it to a certain extent, but then you have to get that on the field. And I would rather get Dragoon or something like that. I don't like this card. So, yeah. Right, moving on now into like the next part. So the next part is obviously what you saw. Play 3 Dogmatika Ecclesia. So this is really good. This is why I play this. So Dogmatika obviously is a very, very good engine. Released from Rise of the Duelist. It's played in an array of decks, and to be honest, they're all spellcasters, so it only helps Dark Magician and helps you get into Quintet by filling your graveyard with more spellcasters. This is quite annoying as well because it can't be destroyed by battle, but with special monster special summon from the deck, so it can be protection as well. So it can be popped obviously, but it does protect you, it can't be beaten over, so it could help you survive until the next turn after you special summoned all your Dark Magicians, gone into your fusion plays, and then beat your opponent. So yeah, and obviously you can special summon this card from your hand. If you go on second, you can special summon this if someone's got a extra deck monster on their field. And obviously when this is no more special summoned, you can add a Dogmatika card. So you can search for your Fleur, you can search for your Maximus, you can search for your Punishment. So obviously Ecclesia, 3 of those, 1 Fleur. Originally I was trying to play 2 Fleur, but because it's just good if you draw 1, then you don't need to search for it, and then you can search for your Maximus or your Punishment, and it's kind of like a decent hand trap also. But then of course I'm only playing one because there's not much room in the deck and it is searchable, so I just narrowed it down to the one. Obviously it can negate the effects of a face-up monster and it doesn't target, so you can do this against Dragoon. One Maximus, I like playing the Maximus because you can just send some stuff to the graveyard, so you can put more spellcasters into your graveyard if you think you can get into Quintet. And obviously it's easily banished, but like easily summoned by just banishing a Fusion, Synchro, XYZ or Link monster from your graveyard. You can special summon it, then you can send 2. You can potentially disrupt your opponent's turn by making them send 2 monsters to the grave. And unless they have the Nova Mechaba combo, it's not really going to matter too much to you. Some decks don't really have the room for that, so Maximus is in there for that reason. Then I'm only playing 2 Nadir 7. Partly because I only have 2. Like, this card is crazy expensive now. It's like £100 each in England, so that is absolutely nuts. It is wild, and I'm a bit hesitant to get a third when it's been limited to 1 in the OCG. So I don't want it to be limited in, like, if it gets limited in March on our ban list, I'll be gutted if I then just spent £100 for the third one. So just the 2. But again, this one's super good, and it does kind of contradict, because if you use Nadir 7, then you can't go into your fusion plays in turn 1, so you can't really set up Dragoon or anything like that. But this is good. You can send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then add 1 Dogmatika monster, Fallen Albaz from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So it's good to help you pop if you want to send Intis. If you go on second, you can pop, and then you can pop a card with Intis, or you can send Titaniclad and then use Titaniclad's effects. So yeah, only 2 of those. Then last to round up the Dogmatika part, playing 1 punishment. So obviously only the 1 punishment because it is searchable. So that's really I can't wait for the tournament pack 15 to come out, because this is getting printed as a super, so I'm super excited to grab those supers. Then of course, now this is like the miscellaneous part of the deck, so it's just like not so much random, but like the bits that don't fit into the Dark Magician or the Dogmatika bits. So we've got 1 Redars Black Dragon. Obviously we have Dragoon in the package, so we need to be playing that. And then obviously we've got the Redars Fusion. If you hard draw it, I would just fucking play it. Like, it is what it is. If you hard draw it, it doesn't really matter too much in this deck, because then you're going to follow up with, during your opponent's turn, you're going to do all your summoning and interruptions, and then your next turn, if you get there, is when you are going to really play. So yeah, use whatever you want. I really need to get the core ones. I did have mine, but I sold, like, I've got mine cheap and then sold them when they were more. I need to upgrade again for the better version of the Redars Fusion. But yeah, Redars, we play Dragoon, so and also if you need to, like, you can Redars Fusion, send Dark Magician and Redars, bring out Dragoon. Then the next packet, next turn, you can actually use Redars Fusion and then get rid of Redars and Dark Magician. You can banish him to bring out Dark Magician and Dragon Knight. So he's not just for Dragoon, you can use it for the Dark Knight as well. So there's those. Okay, now on to a few more. So for more draw power, we play the Spellbook little package. So this is what I meant with, this is the 3rd normal summon. So you have Rod, Ecclesia and Spellbook of Magician. So how this goes is, you're going to normal summon this. This is going to search you for your Spellbook of Secrets. Spellbook of Secrets is then going to search you for your Spellbook of Knowledge, and then you're going to get rid of Spellbook of Magician to draw 2 more cards, which potentially you could draw into something that you need, or it just helps a little bit more. You could take this out and then maybe add like another hand trap, or you could add another Eternal Souls or something like that, because I'm at 42 cards in this deck. So you could take these out if you really wanted to and add something that you guys would prefer. So for some more fusion, we've got Magicalized Fusion and 2 Eye of Timaeus. Sorry about the 1 Ultra and the 1 Common. They work the same though, so it's not too bad. So Eye of Tomas is just an absolute sick fusion card. If you just got one Dark Magician, so if you special summon the Dark Magician to your field, you can just Eye of Tomas, go straight into Dragoon, you can go into wherever you want. So Eye of Tomas is absolutely fucking crazy card. And Magical Arts Fusion, you can just banish what you have from the graveyard into what you need. And I was incorrect. You'd visit it. I forgot what this said. It says Fusion, you can't go into the Dark Magician of the Dragon Knight. You can't go into it with this. That's my mistake, guys. Sorry about that. Potentially you could play Dragon's Mirror. Actually, you could play Dragon's Mirror, then go into it. But then you could just use this and get out a second Dragoon. So it's only better, really. Yeah. So these two for the last of the fusion cards that I have. Then the few one-offs. So I think you always need to main. I think realistically you always have to main some sort of back row removal, whatever you prefer, whatever's best for you. Harpy's Feather Duster is just like the easiest one to just get rid of everything. So yeah, I'll play that. And then Call by the Grave, just so you don't want to get, like, if you're trying to get something off, you're trying to draw your cards, you don't want to, it's just rude of your opponent to ash you. So Called by the Grave, and then Monster Reborn is just a good extender. Then moving on to the last bit, our hand traps. So I chose 3 ash. So I chose 3 ash because it's just generically good against most decks. Most decks are drawing or searching or doing something like that. So ash is just good against majority of decks like that. And then I would have maybe like, and then we have 2 Draw and Lockbird. So Draw and Lockbird at the moment, like Drytron adds to the hand in this like crazily. So it's just good against Drytron, really. Virtual World, I believe, add to the hand a fair bit as well. So it just disrupts them. In your side deck, I would potentially put things like Lancia, Artifact Lancia, because that will stop Eldritch from banishing. It will stop Virtual World from banishing. It will stop Dinosaurs from banishing. This is good against Dinosaurs as well. You can ash the Misk. So stuff like that is really good. But these are the ones I've gone for. Potentially you could change them. Like you could take those 3 spellbook cards out and then add 3 more hand traps if you want, a couple of Nibiru or something like that. But these are the ones that I chose for these. Also, it's another spellcaster. So if this is in your graveyard, you can potentially use this to go into Quintet. Moving on into the extra deck. So for our links, we've got 1 Link Rebo, 1 RP Masquerena. Ooh, let me do it like this. 1 Verte, and 1 Nightmare Unicorn. So obviously Link Rebo is pretty self-explanatory. Mostly I have this just for the opponent, basically. Like I think you should always play level 1 or something to get rid of a token, because if you play against Dino and they give you a token, you need to get rid of that fucking token. So Link Rebo or Link Spider would be good. Then IP Masquerena, obviously use IP Masquerena to go into your Nightmare Unicorn just as like an interruption on your opponent's turn. And Predaplant, if you really need to go into your Dragoon plays, or you can send your Magical Arts Fusion or something like so, just to get more plays. So those are the links. Then for the XYZs, just the 2. So I just play Big Eye. Big Eye, you can detach a material and then take a monster your opponent controls, so it's good for going second. And Redars Flare Metal is really good for going first, because obviously your opponent takes 500 points of damage every turn. So this kind of saved me in one game, because I kind of misplayed, attacked incorrectly. Yeah, I attacked incorrectly. So he's had like 2,100 life points left. And then I made this, and then in his turn, he used 4 effects, had to stop because I only had 100 life points left, couldn't really do much else, and then next turn I just beat him because he couldn't do anything because of this. So this is absolutely crazy. It's not just monster effects, it's any, and also while this has XYZ material, it cannot be destroyed by card effects, so it's relatively safe as well. So yeah, super good. And also you can detach and then target a Red Eyes and normal summon it from your graveyard, which is pretty good as well. Right, now moving on into the fusions, and there are quite a few fusions, so let's get through them. Sorry if this video is dragging on a little bit, I'll try and speed it up a little bit more. So we've got the Dark Magicians. So the Dark Magicians, obviously it just takes a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl and one Spellcaster monster, and obviously we play a lot of Spellcasters. Once per turn, if a spell trap card or effect is activated, you can draw one card, which is pretty good, to be honest. That's only once per turn, but it helps you draw. Then if it was a spell trap, you can set it. So again, pretty crazy. You can activate it this turn. If this card is destroyed, special summon both one Dark Magician and one Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So pretty good. It helps you draw a card, and then again, if it gets destroyed, you can bring back your materials, which is pretty cool. One Dark Magician Knight, Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. So again, this card's pretty good. It protects your back row. So that's why I say, if you're going to play more Eternal Souls, I would definitely play more of these. But for this build, I've only got the one. One Quintet. Quintet is absolutely crazy. You can just completely board wipe your opponents, which is nuts. It does take 5 Spellcasters, but with Dogmatika and all the other cards, you're absolutely filling your deck. So your graveyard with it, and then you can use Redars Fusion or something like that. So this card is nuts, bonkers, man. Then of course, 2 Dragoon. The only thing more annoying than 1 Dragoon is 2. So 2 Dragoon in the deck. Yeah, pretty easy to go into turn 1. Well, you got like a few ways to get into it, and then obviously you've got a few ways to get into it the next turn also. So yeah, this card. What can you say about Dragoon? While it's not banned, it's there. I'm contemplating buying a 3rd, but I'm wary of the ban list, if I'm honest. Okay guys, for the last few monsters, we've got the 2 Titaniclad Ash Dragon, we've got the 1 Elder Entis, and 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So I did play 2 Entis before, but now I've swapped it out to play 1 Entis and 1 Ultimate, just for his attack. And I think it's kind of funny to play Blue Eyes in the Dark Magician deck, so that's why I play that one. But Titaniclad Ash Cloud is pretty good, so you can send this off on the Dear Servant, normal summon your Ecclesia, then you can potentially get 2 searches. This can search for your Fleur, and then obviously Ecclesia can get your Dogmatika Punishment or your Maximus, depending on what you want or what you need or what you don't have. Elder Entity and Tis, you can just send this from your punishment, and you can pop a card, or you can, and then Ultimate Dragon, like I said, is just because it's 4,500. That's it. I'm sorry if this video has been quite long. It feels like it's been quite long. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you think Dogmatika Dark Magician is a good deck, or do you think it is a shit deck? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. I've tested it. I think it's quite fun. It's quite good. It's pretty consistent, and obviously I do prefer fusions over everything else. Yeah, obviously everything can always be improved on, and I will always continue to try and improve on this and see what else I can come up with. Blue Eyes deck coming soon. Like I said at the beginning of the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.